If you have a serious need for speed, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
You better believe it, Trish. Who needs video games when you can get on the track and feel the roar of the engines firsthand at the Hallett Motor Racing Circuit?
Hold on there, Cultrickle. You'll have to learn a few things before you can just mix it up with actually trained drivers.
All right, we'll have the track owner, Connie Stevens, tell us how to get started.
The need for speed. It very much is an addiction. When we have a street guy come out and a guy comes out in his Mustang, comes out in his Miata, his Honda, and he goes through that school that we have, and he's on track 5 times, at the end of the day, I can tell you if that guy's going to be back, and mostly they are. It is an addiction.
There's a sticker that goes on a shop door. It says, "Through these doors lies an obsession to which there is no known cure." That's it.
A lot of people mistakenly think that it's all an adrenaline rush, but to me, when I'm in the car, this is my zen moment. This is when I feel the most calm, the most clear-headed, and I just feel at peace.
Racing is 90% of my life. It means a lot to me, and if I couldn't do it, I don't know what I would do.
Oh, it's always the same. I am so glad I did it. I want to come back and do another day. I want to come back. I want to bring my children. It's always the same.
Married a very long time ago, my husband said to me, "Someday we're going to own a racetrack." And I went, "Yeah, sure, in your dreams." So we went on with our lives, and I taught school for years, and Mike was with Aztec Chemical for years. And one day he said, "Okay, this is it." And we ended up starting a race school for people, and we started renting this track. And the guy running the track said, "I need to go to China to do some engineering work. Why don't you take over for me?" We did, 1989. And we've been running it ever since. And the boys came in with us, Shane and Scott, and they bought the track in 2000. And then we went in on it with them in 2001. And so we've been here since 1989, having started in 1976 racing.
I started racing when I was 7 years old out at Junior Raceway Park. I fell in love with the sport immediately, and I've been doing it ever since.
One day I got to drive around the track in a truck, and Dad got me a race car for Christmas, and after the first year comma, he could tell I got serious about it, and I wanted to do it seriously, and so we've invested a lot of time and effort into this.
I've always wanted to drive Porsches. I own street Porsches throughout my life and have one now, but I've never raced Porsches until just the year before last. Had the opportunity to buy the car. I needed a race car at the time, and so I decided it was time to start racing Porsche.
When I'm in a regular car, I have a hard time separating how I am on the track and how I am in a normal car, as evidenced by my speeding tickets, but I plead the fifth.
It's a 1991 full race prepared cage spec Miata. It's flat black. It was originally a Mazda Miata, but they went into the inside of the car and fully changed it to a full out race car. It's a 1.6 liter. I've carried 60 miles an hour through turn 1 a few times.
This is a 911 Porsche Cup car, which is purpose-built for racing, which means it comes out of the factory meant to be a race car. It's fully set up to be on the track, and it's a spec series, which means that all the cars that I race against are basically the same, which is good for drivers because it develops our technique, and it's really more about the driver than the car.
It's just super exciting to watch the races. And no matter where you stand on this track, once you're in this track, you're in this track. You have 80 acres to roam around wherever you want to be, find a place that's comfortable for you, and just watch the race from every vantage point that you want. And you're free in here. It's like nowhere else. You know, you're not cooped up next to a guy in a grandstand somewhere. If you want to walk around, you can walk. You can ride a go-kart, mini bike, your car. It's a completely different environment than what most races are.
My husband used to always say, you know, someone would go, what do you do? And he says, I sell drugs. And they'd always say, well, what kind of drugs? Are you a rep for one of the company? He goes, no, I sell speed. And it makes the adrenaline pump and you go back because you love it.